Hi everyone, another quick fire video. This one will be on using Stage Traxx 3 with the Quad Cortex, but connecting the two of them via wireless MIDI, or WIDI as they call it. First off, apologies for the poor productions values. I haven't got time to do proper screenshots and bed them all together, so I'm just filming with my iPhone, and as a result I'm afraid you will get screen reflections and so on. But as I said, I wanted to just throw a quick video together. So the way this is set up is I've got Stage Traxx on my MacBook, also works with iOS, so iPhone and iPad. It's set up to control the Quad Cortex via WIDI, so via the wireless MIDI using Bluetooth. But what's really neat is that you can also, thanks to the second most recent update on this with MIDI control messages on preset select on the Quad Cortex, you can now send MIDI messages from the Quad Cortex back to either the MacBook or your iPhone, whatever you're using. This is a great app. The reason I like it is that for me, it's not just about backing tracks, but it's about having click tracks as well. So you can pan those left and right. So your monitors, your in-ear monitors, you'll have a click just in your right ear. And to show you what I mean, there's a list of songs there. What I'm going to do is on the Quad Cortex, I'm just going to choose a different preset, which is a preset I use for different song. Watch what happens on the screen. You see that? So basically, as soon as I select the preset on the Quad Cortex, I'll do it again with a different song, it will send the wireless MIDI, and that will change the song within Stage Traxx. And what's really neat as well is the messages bounce off each other. So as soon as I select that in the Quad Cortex, if you know the Quad Cortex, what's really annoying is if you select songs from within the within the directory, it won't necessarily load up within gig view. The reason it's doing that is because the song here has an instruction to load it in gig view. So even though I'm selecting this song from the Quad Cortex, it loads it in there, and as soon as it loads it in there, it sends the MIDI message back to the Quad Cortex to say, I want you to go to gig view and scene 1. So this is a really neat way of doing it. Clearly you can obviously select the song here as well. So I'll show you now. I'm going to select a different song within Stage Traxx. So it basically just becomes a completely flawless two-way system. So I'm selecting a different song in Stage Traxx. Brilliant. It now loads the new song in gig view, and you can add multiple MIDI messages. So it will load in gig view, selecting that scene there. I could tell it to select that scene. I could tell it to open the looper, start recording the looper, all these different things. So let me show you quickly how to do that. First off, we'll show you within the Quad Cortex, you go to preset MIDI out, and there's your on preset load message. So there's two things to do here. The first one is select a program change number. This is your most significant byte, so that needs to be at 0, that needs to be at 32. This is just a random number, whichever you choose. It's entirely up to you. All you have to do then to make sure you link that to the correct song within Stage Traxx is in Stage Traxx, you go to Information, and then on the song page, all the way down the bottom, you see here this MIDI message. It's called the Song Select Command message. I can actually tell it to learn. So once I've assigned that to the Quad Cortex, what's important, you have to then save the preset in the Quad Cortex, because the way you get it to learn, because it's sending the message on preset change on the Quad Cortex, the way this learns is obviously by changing the preset on the Quad Cortex. If you haven't saved that new MIDI command to the Quad Cortex, it won't send it, of course, because as soon as you come away from the preset, you want to then change back to it so that it transmits the message for Stage Traxx to learn. If you haven't saved it, then obviously it doesn't transmit it. So I don't know if that makes sense, but you see here, that's the number 6 just there. So that's the important thing, because if you recall, in this one, I selected program 6. It's out of focus at the moment. There we go, program 6. If I selected anything random, it could be whatever, program 22. All I have to do is make sure that that number there says 22. They need to correspond. So that's the way you then do it from the Quad Cortex. What you then do, if you want to have the command to play the song, is on this foot switch, doesn't matter which one, it's a control change and it's a random number again. The reason I use this is because I also sometimes connect a Boss Looper to the Quad Cortex, and that happens to be the factory MIDI commands to start play on a Boss Looper. So again, these are random, you choose whatever you want. The important thing is that when you go back to Stage Traxx, what you have to do is within settings, which is down there, you then need to go assign actions. So that's just there. And then at the very top, you see start, stop, playback. And those are the same messages that I had in the Quad Cortex. So again, it doesn't really matter which one you choose. You just need to make sure that they correspond there. Okay, that's how you do it. It's a really, really neat setup. It works brilliantly, and I hope that helps.